Hi everybody, I'm Susan Mulvihill. Well, I'm obviously not outside today, and that's because the wildfire smoke is so horrible. The atmosphere is just choking it so bad. And so I'm confined indoors so that I can stay healthy. You've probably heard about this, but of course there's all of these wildfires in the West, and I live in Spokane, Washington, which is eastern Washington state. So there are all sorts of wildfires in Washington, in Oregon, and California. And a few days ago, the smoke just rolled into the area. Now, sadly, this has been an annual occurrence for us over the course of the last few years. And for a while there this year, I thought, ooh, we're not going to get any wildfire smoke, and this is going to be great. The air quality has been wonderful. But a few days ago, it rolled in, and our air quality index for Spokane County went all the way up to 499. Their scale only goes up to 500, so that tells you how bad it is. It is so hazardous out there, and so I'm trying to be really smart about keeping my time outdoors to an absolute minimum if I need to run and grab a tomato or something, and that's all I'm doing. But I did want to do a video this week so that I don't leave you hanging, and I wanted to cover a few different things, so I thought that's what we would do today. But the main thing is I want you to know we are safe. A lot of you have been checking in on us, and I really appreciate that. It's nice when we can come together as a community, isn't it? But we are safe. It's just that it's very hazardous air outside. The first thing I wanted to do is to give you a little glimpse into my world right now. I'm standing on our front porch for just a moment so you can see the smoky conditions. Now, this is not as bad as it has been over the last couple of days. We are making some headway, but look at how smoky it is. It's awful. That is not fog, that is all smoke. We haven't had any frost yet, and that is great. As you know, I garden in USDA Hardiness Zone 5B, and so our first frost typically is between the middle and the end of September. But you'd better believe I'm watching the forecast like a hawk. Now, one thing that can trigger a frost as the temperatures get cooler is a rainstorm, because it drops the soil temperature and the air temperature. Well, we're going to have smoke through this week, but by the end of this week, there is going to be a rainstorm. So that might be signaling the end of the growing season. What I'm doing in the meantime, and again on a limited basis because of not going outdoors, is I'm trying to harvest tomatoes and peppers so we can make salsa and sauce. And I'm hoping to check our winter squash to see if they're ready to be harvested. We've also been picking melons. So we're trying to kind of bring the season to a close and make sure everything that can't withstand a frost has been harvested within a few days' time. I'm up in my office now, and there are a couple things that I wanted to show you on my website, so let's do that next. Let's see if I can do this without getting in your way. So here's my website, susansinthegarden.com, and if you notice, there is a menu called Guides. If you're ever looking for some type of a resource on my website, that is the menu you want to go to. So you'll notice there's birds in the garden, book reviews that I've written, an index to all of my columns, different links that I think are useful for gardeners, my organic pest control section, and what I really wanted to show you is this preserving the harvest section. Now, it is by no means complete, and you'll have to bear with me. For some reason, internet is going very slowly today. There we go. In this section, what I've tried to do is to include information on ways to freeze or can or process what you've grown in the garden. And I really want to expand it. There's just been this problem of not having enough time. But there's all kinds of things in here, from how to make chunky applesauce, just in case you have some apple trees, ways to freeze beans, how to freeze something like celery or berries. But what you might be particularly interested in is, and you'll notice this is listed by the type of vegetable. There's a section for tomatoes, and I just put a recipe for homemade salsa on it. It's a recipe that Bill and I have been perfecting over the years, and so I've had some requests and I decided to put that on today. And then right below it is my recipe for how to make oven roasted tomato sauce. We'll go to that real quickly. And again, this is going to be moving slowly here. Maybe not very good time to show you this, but it takes you step by step on how to make oven roasted tomato sauce. So you can just make it and put it on pasta for dinner, or you can freeze it. So one or the other, but this shows you exactly how to do it. So I wanted to make sure you knew this section existed, again, under the guides menu, because it's so important that we have ways to preserve our harvest. Now, as you know, I have been writing a book called The Vegetable Garden Pest Handbook, and I wanted to let you know I hit a milestone last weekend. I finished the manuscript and I submitted both it and all of the photos that go with it to the publisher. Woohoo! That is such a milestone. And you know, this is the second book I've written, and it is a great deal of work. It's stressful, but I think this book is going to be so great. So this is what it looks like on my end right now. Yeah, that's a whole lot of pages, and it'll look a lot prettier when you see it. So I had one more thing I wanted to show you while we're up here. Now, you probably noticed this earlier, but on the right-hand side of every page on my website, there is a link to pre-order my book if you'd like to do so. It amazes me how early Amazon starts taking pre-orders. Now, the book will officially be out in April, but this way you can reserve your copy and get it the moment it's available. And all you do is click on the book. Thank you so much. Now, I have a couple more things to tell you. This Sunday, September 20th, I'm going to be on Nikki Jabour's radio show. She lives in Halifax, Nova Scotia, and she has written some wonderful gardening books. I love The Year-Round Vegetable Gardener and also Veggie Garden Remix. They're both awesome. And she has a new book about growing under cover, so I'm looking forward to that. But anyway, they do record their radio program, and so I'll give you a link so that you can listen to it later at your convenience. So what's coming up next? Well, next week I'm hoping to shoot a video on planting garlic. I thought that would be really helpful for the new gardeners out there because, oh, garlic is so good. I'm also hoping to do a video on planting bulbs that bloom in the spring, but you plant them in the fall, so that should be fun. My last garden column of the season will be on Sunday, October 4th, but that doesn't mean you won't be hearing from me throughout the fall and winter months, so don't worry about that. So in the meantime, keep an eye on your weather forecasts in case the end of your season is also looming. Stay healthy, and I hope to see you next week outdoors with some decent air quality. Take care, everybody, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next week.